Hi guys, in this second video we are going to see how we can make up counter and down counter in Simulink MATLAB. For you to understand this video, please watch my previous video. You can see the video on the attached link. Okay, I'll explain this one and then we build it from scratch. Then okay, as you can see here, we want to count from 0 to 5. This is up counter. Then down counter, I want to count from 5 to 0, then up again. Let me begin with this one. This is the value we are adding. We are starting with a 1. We are adding 1 here. Then I'm using an add block. It takes certain value, it adds. This one, it goes to the add block. We add another value that is the output of this block. The output go back to be added. If the output is 1, I'll get 1 here. 1 plus 1, I get a 2. Output becomes a 2. They go back. Therefore, this one here is the output path. Meaning if output is 2, the 2 go back here. 2 plus 1, 3. It go out to the switch, becomes a 4. In my previous video I said this one here is the control. This is the control. This is the first condition. This is the second condition. This is the if. This is the if else. This is if else. If else. Sorry, not this one here. If else, this one here. Else. What happens in this switch? It takes the value here, this output of this block. Assuming we have 1, let me assume we have 1 here. There's a 1. 1 plus 1, I get a 2. It takes the 2, it compares. Is this 2 greater than 5? You can see 5 here. Is it greater than 5? If it is yes, it uses the first. If it is yes, else it takes this output, it becomes my output here. Okay, if it is 2, we know that 2 is not greater than 5. Okay, therefore the output becomes 5, because if we know that if 2 is not greater than 5, it uses the else. Therefore, if this one is a 2, if this one is a 2 here and this one was a 1, let me just use these values for you to understand. 1 plus 1 is a 2. 2 is not greater than 5. Therefore, the 2 is here. Therefore, I will get a 2. I get a 2 here. Why? Because 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 is not greater than 5. Therefore, I get a 2. I go back. I'm getting 2 here now. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 is not greater than 5. Therefore, 3 go here. I get a 3. Once I get a 3, I go back with a 3. Becomes a 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. I get a 4. Therefore, 4 is less than 5. Therefore, I get a 4 here as my output. Therefore, I get a 4 here, because this 4 is the one that go inside here. 1 plus 4 is 5. I get a 5. 5, I get a 5 output. Then I get another 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 is greater than 5. Therefore, the output becomes, if this one here, I get a 0. Then I go back again. The loop goes back. 1 plus 1 now becomes a 1. The loop starts again. I'm counting from 1 to 5. Okay? That's how you count up. How do you count downwards? Similar thing. This is my switch. Okay? This is my switch. Therefore, remember this value here. It is if. If this is true, it gets this value. Else, it is this value. Let's now begin. Initially, this one is 0 here. Initially, we have a 0 here. Let me just do like that. And have 1 here. Now I'm using a negative because I'm subtracting. I'm counting downwards to subtract. 1, negative 1 plus 0, I get a negative 1 here. 1 minus 0, I get negative 1. I get a negative 1 here. A negative 1. Negative 1, it compares. Is negative 1 greater or equal to 0? No. The output becomes this value. Remember, the first one is a true condition. For the true condition here, this one is for the false condition. It is false, therefore I get a 5. I get a 5 here. Then 5 go back here. I have a 5. Then 5 minus 1, negative 4. I get a negative 4. Sorry, I get a 4. Because 5 is a positive, this one is a negative 1. Don't forget this value here. 5, negative 1, a 4. Is 4 greater than 0? Yes. Therefore, the value is 4. I'm using the top value because this 4 is here. The 4 go back. 4 minus 1, a 3. Is 3 greater than 0? Yes, 3. Then 3. Then true. This false. I get a 3. 3 plus negative 1, I get a 2. 2, of course, a 2. Then a 2 again here, a 1. Then a 1 again. The process continues. A 1, 1 here. 1, 1, 0. Yes, 0 is greater or equal to 0. We have 0 is equal to 0. Therefore, the answer is a 0. I get a 0 here. Now 0 plus this negative 1. I get a negative 1. Of course, negative 1 is, this condition is now false. This becomes 5. That's how you do down counting. If you run this, let's say, up counter, I should get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The loop continues. Okay, let's go to the down counter. I start with a 5. I decrement to 0, again, decrement to 0, again, decrement to 0, again, decrement to 0. That's how you do the up counter and down counter. As you can see here, I will also explain, we have this delay. You can see there's a delay here. The reason why we have this one here, unit delay, to delay a little bit. Before it executes this, it takes this value, delays a little bit, then passes the value here. Okay, you will see that once we start modeling this. Let's now do the actual modeling of this in MATLAB. I will delete this one here. Let me delete everything. Let's start with the up counter. We want to count up to, maybe up to 10. Let's count up to 10 like that. We need a switch. Go to library, signal, Simulink, signal routing, a switch. We need a sync, that is we need a scope. We need a source, that is a constant. Let me go to the continuously commonly used blocks. I need a constant. Lastly, I need a delay. I will illustrate the purpose of delay. Also, math operators, I need add. Then go to discrete, I need unit delay. That's fine. Sorry, that's fine. That's what I need. Okay, this is the switch pattern. This is the switch pattern here. You can make it longer. And this is the, let me first put this one aside. This is the summation block. This summation block is the value here gets compared to the value here. Up count up to 10. Therefore, I'm counting up to 10. Therefore, this value, it will be checking this value up to 10. I'm using greater than. Okay? Because I want to start from 0. Okay? I want to start from 0. Let me put this constant here. I want to start from 0 here. This is the true. This is the true condition. If true, do this. If true, do this. Then I'm going to increment by 1 like that. This one, no. Increment by 1 everything. Increment by 1. Then if true, it is this value. If this is true, we start again from 0. Else if output is the value here, the output is this value here. If this value is greater than 10, maybe 11, I go back to 0. This becomes true, I go back to 0. Therefore, this one is when it is false. When it is false. If I'm getting 8, 8 becomes a false, I get 8 here to my display, like that. Then I take this value, I put it. I take this value from output, then I add. If you try to run this, you get this one here. Discontinuities detected within algebraic loops. Okay, this because there's a loop here. You can't add at the same time get output. You have to delay one. These are two operations happening simultaneously. That is impossible. You have to delay one of them, and you have to delay this. Delay this first before adding again, so that you can get results. You can't get results at the same time you are adding results. You have to delay. The reason why we have a unit delay. Okay, this one helps to solve algebraic loops. That it will take it takes the value here. It delays a little bit, maybe for a few seconds, then gives the value. If you now run, if you go to scope, you will see that I'm incrementing. I'm starting from 1 to 10. It goes to 0 to 10. 0 to 10. Why does it go to 0 here? Because it is using this 0 here. If I want this to go to 1, like this, I can have to change this to 1. If I put this one as 1 also, just try to play with these models and see what happens. You can see now I'm starting with 1 to 10, 1 to 10. If you want to start 2, this is the starting value. Note that this is a starting value. Okay, let me go back to 0. That's the up counter. Let's go next to the down counter. Down counter from 10. Okay, again I need this switch. Okay, I need the switch. I need the block for the addition here. I need scope, and I need unit delay, and I need a constant. Okay, for the down counter, I'll be subtracting. Therefore, if this one is our control port, and I have a 1 here. I need to subtract 1 first, and first for put 1. I'm not adding 1, I'm subtracting 1, like that. And I said we need a unity delay. You know the reason why. Paste it here. Okay, sometimes I have to delete this and put new ones here. Let me first of all complete this section here, then explain the other section. Okay, I need this one is for the true, this is for the false. I need to start from 10. Okay, I need to start from 10 and decrement. How can I do that? If you want to decrement from 10, it means if I get a value here, I just start with a -1 for now. At the start, I get from -1. I start with a -1 here. This is my starting value. Starting value has to compare with something here. Okay, it has to compare with something. Therefore, and I have to get a value here. If I put a constant here, I have to give this value of 10. This value of 10. I want this value of 10 to be the alternative. I want this 10 to be here, to be the alternative, like that. How can I make this be 10? -1, I want this to be false. -1 is greater than 10. It is a false. Therefore, I get a 10. Okay? Else becomes this value. Therefore, else becomes the value here, like that. Therefore, because I want to count up to 10, I have to use greater than or equal to 10. If you run, I get the same thing. I'll be counting from, I get the 10 constant. Why am I getting the 10 constant? Because we need now to put this one here. Let me illustrate. This is a 10, and this one is a. Let me. There's something I want to illustrate here. I'm getting 10 continuous. Why am I getting 10 continuous? Check. Let's now understand the loop, how it is happening. Okay. I have -1. Is -1 less or equal to 10? It is a false. The value must be 10. I'll get 10 now. I'll get 10 here. 10 minus 1 becomes 9. Is 9 greater or equal to 10? A false. I get another 10. Therefore, you have to make sure that this one is 0. That was a trick. That was a trick. Just like that. Okay? That's how you use up counter and down counter in MATLAB. Let's meet in our next video. I'll be creating this video advanced a little bit until we become an expert.